Okay, we're also going to talk about lesson 1-3 here as well. There's just a couple things we need to note here. I actually just want to make a note. Look at page 18, and you have this very nice chart of the real number system. So let me put that up here real quick. Okay, can we see that? Kind of, but not really. Again, my camera software is installed, so I can't make it beautiful. But you have all these different layers of types of numbers. The most restrictive is the natural numbers. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just those numbers. If you talk about whole numbers, that also includes 0. Not much of a distinction, not terribly useful. Then it gets interesting. The integers is where we start talking about negative numbers. Throw those in there. And then rational numbers are numbers that can be written as a fraction. So that's where we get into fractions there. And then we can also talk about irrational numbers. These are numbers that you cannot write as a fraction. And we don't get into showing the real difference there between irrational and rational numbers. But we do talk about sometimes what they are. We don't really talk about why just yet. You have to get a pretty take some pretty fancy math classes before you can really get into that. So we have the layers of numbers. You have natural, which is 1, 2, 3, dot, dot, dot. You have whole numbers, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, dot, dot, dot. Again, not much of a distinction. Okay. Next we have integers. Okay, so I'll extend this to the negative numbers. Negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and integers is a number that will get, is a word that'll get thrown at you a lot. It says find the integer solution or something like that. An integer is just a positive or negative number without decimals or anything like that. So that's all an integer is. You've been using integers a lot, and the word itself. Don't let that throw you off. Rational numbers, that includes fractions. And I'll just put it like that because there's so many different kinds. When it comes to irrational, okay, some examples of irrational numbers. We have pi, which we've used for circles. That's an irrational number. Now what that means is that you can't write it as a fraction. Sometimes we do something like this, where we'll say pi is approximately equal to 22 over 7. And so it kind of looks like it, well, that's a fraction there, right? But that's only approximately equal to it. It only serves a little bit of a purpose. It's not exactly equal to it. So I can't say that pi is actually 22 over 7. It's not right. It's not close enough. Some other irrational numbers, like a square root that doesn't go evenly, like the square root of 3, you can't write that as a fraction. And again, we don't get into why that is here. You'll have to trust me for now. And so numbers like that are irrational numbers.